Hey everybody, it's Mr. T. I'm here at Genesis Cafe, and I bumped into the stranger who visited Thailand. His name is Mr. Miyakawa. I think a few of you know him, and he's going to tell you more about evangelism and ways to start conversations at Night Bazaar. Here he is.
All right. Hey, everybody. So what a treat it is for me to share a couple things. Ryan and I were just talking about when you go down to a place like the night market and how do you actually start conversations. So the first thing that I would just kind of point out for anybody is that pretty much everybody that's there that you're going to meet up with is from somewhere and they're visiting. So, you can always ask people just carte blanche as a starting question, are you a visitor here? Where are you from? Okay. And so wherever people are from, if you know something about France, then you can say, oh, I've always wanted to go to Paris. That's incredible. What do you like about Thailand being from France or something like that? So those are pretty easy. If it's like somewhere you don't know much about, actually I'm American, I'm from California, like, wow, I have a lot of friends that love California. They talk about California. Where do you live? Do you live in Los Angeles? Or, tell me more about that, something like that. So those are easy things just to ask. And then at some point, you can ask them like, how long are you here? And what have you enjoyed about Thailand so far? What are you going to be doing here? Those are easy, standard questions that almost anybody can answer. And they like answering that because most people that they see are just trying to figure out how much baht they're going to pay for something. They don't really engage in conversations. I've talked to a lot of people down there at the market that they've been in restaurants, they've been at markets, and they've not had like a single conversation with somebody. And when you do that as a young person, they just light up just to have a conversation in English with somebody. So that's really good. If they're wearing something like a hat or a shirt, again, if they have a New York shirt on, which a lot of people do, then you can say, are you from New York? That kind of thing. Or are you from Korea? And just ask them that. I feel like I can almost not think of a time when I mentioned something about something that they were wearing where the conversation wasn't a good conversation because you're asking them specifically about something that's personal to them, and people love to talk about themselves. So those are easy things. The other thing that I just thought about was once you start with a couple questions, you don't want to just ask 6 questions over 20 minutes, but you want to have a little bit of give and take. At some point, when they talk about where they're from or what they've seen in Thailand, you can say, I'm actually, once they kind of finish their sentence, you can say, I actually live here. And again, you're talking in English to them. They know other people they see around them live here, but they all speak Thai and they can't have a conversation. You actually live here and you can talk about that. So when you say, I actually live here, they'll go, really? And then you say, yeah, I'm actually a student at an international school. You can say as much or as little as you want about you're in 10th grade, your favorite subject is math, whatever it is, and they will be suddenly now your life is a bit open to them. You might tell them, yeah, my name is Jeff, and, I've lived here for 6 years. Oh, really? So all of a sudden now things start changing when you share. They've shared something, you've shared something. At that point, if it's just kind of a bit of a pause, you can say, again, lots of options here, but you could say, yeah, actually our school is a Christian school and I'm a Christian and I'm down here meeting people to encourage them in their life and in their faith. Or if I can pray for somebody, and if they start smiling at that point, then something good is happening that God is doing. And you can say right then, if they smile a little bit, you can say, yeah, is there one thing that I can pray for you tonight? That type of thing. If they just look at you like, really, then you can just keep going and you can say, so like, I love meeting people down here, and I just, I want you to have a really great vacation. And we will be praying for, what's your name again? Something like that. So basically, if somebody gives you this, that means that you probably have a minute or two at most with them. They're not the people that God has you to have long conversations with that night, and that's good. That's okay. And you can say, it's been really great talking with you, and bless you in your time here, something like that.
That's really helpful advice, Mr. Miyakawa. I wanted to ask you, what advice would you give to students who are new to this evangelizing? They're really hoping to become more confident. What kind of ways can Grace students develop confidence when evangelizing?
Yeah, so I always say that when it comes to evangelism, our whole life, whether you're age 35 or age 15 or 12 or whatever, we're all practicing for something in the future. So if I'm practicing, if I'm on a team sport, basketball player, soccer, whatever, that means as soon as we start to get out there on the practice field, I need to make mistakes. I need to do things knowing there's risk involved, and that when I make a mistake, I'm going to learn from it. That's really what evangelism is about. If you think about the rest of your life, you're going to be able to share with people over and over and over many years. Right now, you're practicing. So the more practice you can do, the better you'll become. It's not an event that has to happen an exact way. But God is in control anyway, and He's going to take every conversation and use it well. You just need to practice. So practicing starts with watching other people practicing. And then as you see that and you learn from that and you realize, oh, I can do that. That's not that hard, to ask them where they're from. And then to say, something in response like, someday I want to get over to England. Oh, now I've heard that once or twice. I can say that the next time. But so you start practicing by watching people practice, and then eventually at some point, you'll just feel it. You'll be in the middle of a conversation with somebody leading, and then you'll be the next person to say, well, did you like that? Like the whole elephant thing? Or, something. And you'll say it and you'll realize, oh, I'm practicing now by being in this conversation. And then suddenly there's just a spirit that God gives you that makes you warmer to that person once you get involved a little bit. And then you just do a little bit at a time. And I always used to tell people when they came down the first time to Night Bazaar evangelism, like, come, just watch the first night. Take it all in and just watch, enjoy yourself, and learn from the conversations that you see. And then at some point, you'll know in your spirit, God's got me ready, and you'll start to slowly enter into those things, start practicing.
It's wonderful. Really great advice. Thank you so much for sharing, Mr. Miyakawa. Glad to have you here.
Love you guys. Hey, God's got this. All you got to do is say, yes, Lord, I'm scared to death, but I'm willing and ready to get started. Amen. Because God, you got this, and He'll take care of it. And I'm so excited for all of you.